Etiefo ne busuafo ni die kwan so mema obi bia kwa baba channel super chai daily update TV obo kwan so so share video ni we na so woni dwon ha ye best so be subscribe to YouTube channel no be like no share videos na ma mafefo ana say wo adofo nso anya bi ahwe yakopon hia no nyo kesi mpache wo Kelvin Taylor show so na EC top official bi wa fresh show no na wa beke kansem bi egu ho pa yes nsem bi efa Gen Mensah ho na we dey edit pa no we na Kelvin Taylor nso ono nso ke kansem bi o kire say EC per se or head already 2024 election na that is an equine wafa so person or the reggae election and Kelvin Taylor at the ababontina wabe reveal and as a wabe expose the EC. Yes, in patch with the DT pa na Mensah mumre kwa said a kind you be zooming straight into the audio near could see in Sema EC official and top official and pay babe kafa Mensah Anna and some Kelvin Taylor kind expose na Kelvin Taylor about fa Gen Mensah hono ti wode medase be yen zoom straight ni enkotie nsem for ourselves nyakopon hia no nyakese medase
yes yeah around ekobo one still are there waiting na omoshe odwumedie no maya there me no kese isisia no yenya nkofo mo munya adwuma no me mfa me dey ntuja there ba me kan ho na ye adwuma no ye pe nkofo mo ma be ye adwuma no po mo mba because isisia na nya catch video
ama easy
ai yes umunye nimba link na beda ho ye pengo fo mama be ye bia obi ama ye no omuka kasa so womra na won fill forms na kra na because you know first na nka wo fill mpa no passport picture and the wo or the passport picture be kan say so passport picture be shim what are they and sana what me if we did go for passport picture who ID card the Ghana card the passport picture who can show you the and then people are not even conversant with the link and then selling idea no
yeah
people are not interested in ama sisiano I had the papa ya no kasi said I work kind omuntia card omuntia registration omunye say September that way no October that way up to registration last 3 weeks omuntia card in this year adwuma no I had the amaya papa and this is send our work no if people are compromised so they will accept it now on my we in probably stooges they are stooges so some a lot of people will be stooges because of Bible no better now I adwuma na ma so na eko nti be that say
but as a Mensah ya dey be Ghana for yema yeni nko this lady is dangerous and devilish now say sometimes we share MPP for am say we will win the elections. No, but someone say, no mujina so adebia we will win the elections. We win the elections. No. Now, my catch up say I'm already in the electoral commission. I have people working with me, and they are giving me what is necessary. Close to elections, you know, yabebo videos, yabebo audios, voices, things. Mensah boss mamo eka in meetings, and when I say I'll do it, I'll do it. I have a few. This is not a time to play them. Now. I will prove to you, say, Mensah, or I dream say, she wants to rig the elections for the NPP. She wants to rig the elections for the NPP. Now, or the assemblyman, any a year unit committee elections we and a year test. And the NPP MPs. Dr. Omane Boama of the NDC and the head of elections, listen to me. Sami Jemfi, NDC communicators, those who are in charge of elections in the NDC, this is the time you people need to be listening. I'm not going to come call anybody to talk to. This platform is bigger than any platform. So when you sit in Ghana and tell me you did not hear, that you are not ready to work, they have to sack you. You are just a waste of resource. So if you're an executive of the NDC, if you're an MP of the NDC, if you are part of the executives going to manage the elections, 2024 elections for NDC, make sure that these are things you take serious. Because Mensah, why not say she wants to rig the elections, whether Mumpo or so rig elections. No? Now assemblyman elections we and or the bear test. No? Now under Mensah, over 40 people on the Electoral Commission, they have resigned. And when I talk to some of these people and those who are also working in our Omiam source, Jane Mensah basically is running the Electoral Commission to send a kitchen. Jane Mensah does not respect anybody's view. In fact, Oka Omoma Resigner, senior officers, they have walked out of the Electoral Commission because their views are not respected. Now, and there so be a toilet man or Ghana, no digital toilet car, or more hope to be a Juma or EC. The people at EC, they are working, they are not paid. They have been threatened to be transferred and sacked if they even write a letter to the leadership said this is going on, it is not right. Jane Mensah and the Bossman Asari, they have hijacked the EC. There are people in there, they have never seen anything like this before. Jane Mensah is taking monies from them in the name, say she's cutting costs. Cutting costs for what? We want transparent process. That is why anytime you ask for money, we give you. Before election 2020, you asked for millions of cedis. We gave you, say, facial recognition machines in the till date, Yehuba Akumpo Ghana. Now, Jane Mensah and Bossman Asari, episode you see this assemblyman, any unit committee elections here, Basui, they want to use that election as a test to see, say, in the general elections, you know, they can apply that same thing. And what they are going to do now is what we call, they are going to help the NPP get a lot of voter, kind of overvoting in disguise. This is very technical. So why not smart? I work with people who are in the engine room of the ECA. They know that this is the agenda of Jane Mensah. Jane Mensah has built a cartel in the ECA. She does not want anybody to speak. On the Bossman Asari, they make the decision. Even on the field, the technical directors and the technical people at the ECA, how the elections are conducted on the ground, you know, Jane Mensah does not take their view because she has an agenda on a Bossman. If they implement this process and it works, she will find a way to make sure, say, election 2024, this is what she's going to do. Now, my dear, follow me critically, slowly. You understand where I'm coming from. There's going to be overvoting in the general elections, and this EC assemblyman committee elections, there's going to be overvoting, and it's deliberate. They want to see, and it's going to cause a lot of harm. This assemblyman elections are very chaotic because Jane Mensah is doing something. Now, Shadier, this is a document. Let me show you. I'm showing you documents from the Electoral Commission. I'm not showing you documents from anywhere. Makache Jane Mensah said every single memo in the EC, I'll have it. Every single contract she will sign, I have it. Every single audio or Kasebia, I have it. She should not think, say, because I'm quiet, you know, I don't know anything. I know what is happening. And I have a lot. And with me, Makache say, you see 2024 man, namube hunyama o Ghana. See, this is a memo. And this memo, no, 2020, right? Okay. Now, what is the, I'm not seeing anything like that. I'm not seeing anything. When I'm done, we can discuss this, but I'm not seeing anything. Give me a name so that I can work with. I'm not seeing anything in the email. Now, OSHA document where rates for election officials. Date is 4th of December 2020. This was before election 2020. Elections was on the 7th of December 2020. Now, the Electoral Commission wishes to inform all its temporary officials for the 2020 presidential and parliamentary elections that these are the approved rates for the various responsibilities on election day. Now, you need to pay attention to this. Positions, presiding officer. These are the officers. And I said, these are the officials. Election at any particular day in Ghana. Omo eteki in charge of the elections. Positions, presiding officer. Near to almost 550 Ghana cedis. Name reference list officer. the 450 Ghana cedis. Verification officer 450 Ghana cedis. I want you to pay attention to the names now, mebubono. And your ballot issuer 1 and no 400 Ghana cedis. Ballot issuer 2 400 Ghana cedis. COVID-19 ambassador and no 400 Ghana cedis. Now, mami explaining omo amabobo omudini nyina edwuma nkyerɛw. So when you see it there, presiding officer, his job is simple. When you go to a polling station, the presiding officer is basically the boss there. It is here 7, 8, 9, 10 electoral commission officers. He is the boss technically on an AJ Mensah. So he has the overall duty to make sure say obia juma. So technically he is the busiest person making sure say elections na course that particular police station and that place it is going on smoothly and on your friend presiding officer. Now okay, the next one a name reference officer. The name reference officer he has only one job. What he does is say udru now salana could do anymore now aje ID or show ID now okay, because the register names yeah arranged in alphabetical order. The names in the register it has been mixed. It is ojo card na obetuma share code na say okay go, but no I catch them and call for na register na when him say ebia nipa way his picture and his issues it will be in page 23 number 7cc into the card show anima na ama ejuma no aye easy ama nipa na register ni sinanim no. So what he does is he verifies, basically he does the verification of your ID and sana wako winim on your friend reference list officer on na sa register na list no or your reference na dem omomkuta register no. Now you go to a verification officer. Now, some verification officer or verify voter ID card or verify who's authentic or check it every single details also say it matches what they have. So his primary job as the verification officer is to verify the voter ID. Into what you could see say there is a processor money difficult for anybody to rig. Now after the reference verification officer you will go to some people called ballot issuer. Ballot issuer 1. And a ballot issuer 2. Now, so called police center biya say a presidential, any parliamentary, you will nipa or tick paper emma presidential, and you nipa or tick paper emma parliamentary. Those are the two people called ballot issuers. Inti say a two abas what's the deal? There is one person or a presidential candidate for paper, ballot paper. And you only power on also a parliamentary people paper because they don't want people to get confused. They don't want people to be giving different ballot paper to different people. Until when him say nipa we the asimis ne juma say presidential ballot paper and what amount we are no asimis we ho on the amount parliamentary ballot paper. In the process, when the most important one, because at the end of the day, the ballot papers are the ones we are going to do what count. Into the ballot issuers, they are very important. The ballot issuers need making mistake. There can be overvoting, there can be undervoting, there can be a lot of issues at the polling center. Mensah has the right to come out and tell Ghana for say every document I'm showing here is a lie. Every single document I'm showing here tonight, tomorrow I'll put it out there. Your PRO can come out and say none of this is true. We will not hide any document. Now, okay, first 6 lists to be done with them. Now, you're assemblyman and unit committee elections, right? Now, this is what Mensah is about to do. And it's dangerous in our politics today. Now, Mensah, today as we speak, Mensah today as we speak, Nipa 6 ananka every electoral polling area, polling station, also Mensah has done something. Now, the Electoral Commission of Ghana, Director Training. Now, Sawusha, sir, first list now me catch on. In fact, let me put the first list on. Now me fan top side by side. Now me explaining to you na montiasie. You see, the green one no. Ushe eye officers na almost no officers almost 6 at a particular police station. We have the presiding officer, your the name reference list officer, your verification officer, ballot issuer 1 and ballot issuer 2, and your COVID-19 then a ambassador. Now see, the Mensah and say assemblyman any unit committee elections are no why BB and it's dangerous a technical on your fast. Now a presiding officer no position no we keep it right. And so oba the other part. So okay, first one now you could see say the first name no the presiding officer. Now oba this 2023 document a war writer make sure now there's presiding officer there. Now oko the second one with green this way you will see reference name reference list officer. Now about 2023 paper no so the white one there is nothing like name reference officer. Now osako with nima you will see say nanka say your verification officer. Oko greener there's verification officer and there's verification officer here. Now ballot issuer omye 2. Now so about the new one white one be assemblyman election now the ballot issuer a 1. Now oba siawa ni actual key trainer which is not important. Now what Mensah has done and say a presiding officer anka say ne dwuma ne say oye in charge of everything there. He needs to be paying attention and going everywhere and making sure no. Now presiding officer no ejuma e was a reference list officer no Mensah just say ejuma ne say the ama returning officer. So technically the returning officer who is supposed to be sitting and monitoring the process the returning officer will now have to go and also be doing the work of the reference list officer, name reference list officer. Until right now we don't have a returning officer or better now presiding officer. I'm sorry. Presiding officer also on the boss there to make sure say KOCBC process when koye or be make sure to nyamano. Say a presiding officer no Mensah a name reference officer list officer na also check his name no we ye fio and all this are responsibility no Akroma presiding officer. Now sir presiding officer no he needs to have an overall roller or check bibian right. He has to be sitting at one place and doing the job somebody is supposed to do. Now Mensah Xp0 verification officer, the tricks she has done and say ballot issuers 2 no se no assemblyman elections where you benya ballot issuer 1 you benya 1 pair. Remember election now mokoye no assemblyman no enya assemblyman nkwa o ye assemblyman any unit committee members so election at the same time. Now so offer one ballot issuer officer pair baako pair betena wa. Now it means to say that person who is the issuer what he's going to do is say Sani Pabakuna will have the assemblyman ballot papers and he will have the unit committee so papers no him. Now this same person I was say a assemblyman ne man Pabako no koba no asati a unit committee. The probability say obi oti assemblyman man no ko no ba obesati the assemblyman amani pano. Or the probability too will be that say easy official has been compromised. All that he has to do is say so once asimesi or about MPP ni or assemblyman we are he will tear bear 3 or better bear 3 at the money panel say onkoto or we are not sadi pana saba say oba beto a unit committee there no or betuma sat 3 amani panel. The reason why we have single a ballot issuer officers and say send your bear there will not be overvoting. Send your bear the process will be transparent. Send your bear every single contest will stand on its own. In this West Stadia, so to a say nipa 7 and 7 categories are your 7 issuer 7 issuer officers. Now Mensah what she's trying to do now with this assemblyman election and say or the only 1 issuer officer and the 2 papers. So when you come, all that you do is say So we are MPP near Oba. Say officer not one or a compromise that all that he has to do or better a MPP or better MPP no better 3 amount. Oko now Oba now because first one out see no na enye assemblyman what unit committee interfere na meba beji assemblyman no sa nipa no ebeti another assemblyman 3 ama nipa no ama na sa akoto ama nipa bako. So what is going to happen is it's going to bring a lot of chaos when the counting begins because there will be overvoting. And then at the end of the day, no, if the party corona yet it is no oni and what they are going to say, they are going to push it through and say Obi winning. Now, Mensah wants to test this. Our assemblyman and it's a way one a ballot issuer officer right now. A Juma was said the year a dangerous, a serious no. Mensah mum e money pabako into pabako to and a nipa 300 that's a line. And a sign nipa baako no e was say or take assemblyman mani pano e mane koba no asaba be nipa na sa ko di lie so na wasati a unit committee. The probability say obe over tear paper and give to a particular person or obe under. So this is what Mensah the boss man person here. And this thing you are seeing, it say a joke, no, it is not a joke. So on the side process we call bantama. If there's one officer on basically ballot issuer, na say MPP ni and on a paper na MPP ni be or t presidential bet 8 the amano se kokoto or 2 year or ba or see me say ba beji parliamentary no at 8 amano. You can see say there will be less people voting at the polling station, but they will get more numbers at the end of the day. So the number of people who vote at the end of the day, you could see say it will not reflect the number of people who came to vote. And this is what Mensah is going to test. And the chaos eba be see was assemblyman any unit committee election been see Ghana da. And there are people at the EC. Mensah said this is wrong. Nancy MP Mensah is supposed to provide every polling station with 2 ballot issuers. You don't have to have 1 ballot issuer sitting and issuing ballots from 2 categories to people, because if you allow that to happen, then they are going to rig the elections to the point whereby we will be in Ghana and be like, how? And until the MPP for confident to say 2024 they will win, because this is the strategy and this is what they are going to do now. Almost testing the way no more test system now. We need to stop this. In the assemblyman and unit committee election, we need 2 people to issue their ballot papers. We are not supposed to get only 1 person to be doing that job. It's what Mensah is doing here. I'm cutting costs, but no, she is basically tweaking the process. And she will come to parliament and tell them, say, this is what she wants to do in election 2024.